Hello, this is the Helm weekly dev meeting. It's June 27th, 2024, and we have only maintainers on the call right now, so I might not have to go through all the formalities, but we say only what we want recorded and all of that. For people listening in or to the recording later, drop the uh, drop the notes, today's notes in the chat. There we go. Cool. All right, so there's not a lot on the agenda right now. I was thinking I may put at least one PR on the agenda too. I'll throw that at the bottom. All right. Okay, so we don't have any announcements today, but we do have a few discussion items. So George, you want to take this first one?
I don't think George is on the call.
Okay, why did I? I'm like, hey George. Thanks. That's what I get. So I think maybe we can just take a quick look at it. I'll take a quick peek at it. Huh, have you seen this one, Joe?
Not yet.
I'm
Reading
just
the
kind of
email.
curious. It's just saying,
Things that the default function doesn't work as documented.
yeah, I'm pretty, that would be a surprise to
George just showed up.
Morning. Sorry,
Hi.
it sounds like you're discussing my, because I was late.
Mhm.
Yep.
Hey, buddy.
Hey, how's it going?
Good. Yeah,
Uh,
we didn't really quite discuss it yet, except for just opened it and looked at it. And
yeah.
have
Well, let
you?
me quickly
Yeah,
explain what I understand then.
yeah.
So the default function does work as advertised, but the default function is truthy, meaning if you have a value of false, default will say I will use the default value, or if you have an empty string, or so it doesn't just do a nil check. It does a nil check and Boolean logic or truthy logic.
Hmm.
Oh, interesting. So if you have a default Boolean,
So,
it's
so,
gonna
so what I
break,
mean, so if you have a value in your file and the value is false, so you have
right?
something like,
But default is
uh,
true. It's going to
yeah,
you set false, but it's still going to be true.
right. So it does that truthy check.
Wow. How did
Um,
So
it's not get
this is
noticed before?
my take. This function isn't necessary because you can get the same exact functionality with dig.
With
You
what?
use you can get this the requested functionality you can get with dig. So if you dig to the specific key that you're looking for, if the key doesn't exist, it'll use the dig default. And if it does exist, regardless of its truthiness, it will respond with that.
okay, so we already have an equivalent just
Yeah.
called dig.
I'll make a
Yeah, I
comment
didn't
on
know that.
I'll make a comment on the issue.
Okay, nice. Yeah, I mean, if that's what the guy wants, he just wants he wants the non-truthy version of default, and if dig does that, then perfect. Nice. Good spot.
Oh, we should update the documentation then.
Sure.
So-
Yes, that's yes. Actually, I'm gonna add this to the agenda. Um,
yeah, that would be nice. Yeah, just tell people that if you're using a bool, then um, or I guess or a 0 and 1, does it also? Okay,
Yeah.
really, that is very interesting.
yeah, I'm sure this has caught me before, so I kind of sympathized with the.
Does
Um,
this
Yeah.
mean if you?
It's caught me enough times that that's why I know dig works.
That's so interesting. Yeah. Okay, so I've actually never heard of this issue, period. Um, okay. So really, like if you have a default replicas and you want to scale your replicas down to 0, it's going to say, sorry, buddy.
Yeah.
I guess I don't really see a default on replicas, but I'm just thinking of an example, right? Like that would use like numeric.
Yeah. I mean, you
Okay.
can default replicas. There's good reasons for that.
Yeah. All right. Uh, so Joe, are you going to comment on that issue?
Yes, I'll comment on it.
Okay.
I've got the tab open. I'll reply later.
Okay, cool. Thanks. Wow. So then the next one is you again, George.
So if you open this up, um, I think certain use cases, say like crossplane, involve installing thousands of custom resources onto a cluster. Um, Helm, when you do an install, fetches all the version sets so basically all your API resources so that you can do that API versions has command in your Helm chart. And Helm does this whether or not you use this. And I think for a small cluster which doesn't have thousands of CIDs, like no one ever cared. But the guy's pointing out when you have many CIDs, it takes a long time. But I did a kind of object to his solution, which I stuck as a PR comment. I just wanted to make sure that no one else felt differently to my objections here. Um, the I don't think adding a flag to not fetch the version sets is a good idea because it's just going to cause confusion for people using charts. Like this guy, he'll know about this flag because he implemented it, but all the other users of Helm are going to be like, what does this thing do? It's just like another awkwardness in the CLI. It's not really solving the problem that it's slow. It's just kind of ignoring it.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Um, correct me if I'm wrong. We don't fetch these capabilities for every single resource. We just do it one time and store it in memory, right?
We do it
Right.
one time, but when it's for every install or upgrade. So if you're using the CLI, you don't really notice because it's just a one-time operation. But if you're say using it as a controller, or sorry, if you're using the
Oh.
SDK, then you'll still do it every time for every operation. And this kind of makes sense because it may change over time. Like if you install one chart, um, I think the correct solution would be to do it dynamically. So if you don't use API versions in your chart, you make no calls. But you would maintain a cache of every API, every um. So only when you did the what's the yeah, if you do API versions has, then then you would fetch and cache at that point for that particular API version. I don't know if the Kubernetes API allows you to do this, but that would be the ideal solution that you only do this when needed. Um,
Mm-hmm.
so yeah,
Hmm.
I just like this flag and the complexity and kind of hackiness of it. But if anybody um thinks that it's correct solution, then that's why I bring it up.
So do we have any benchmarks for, I mean, this person didn't know any.
Yeah,
Uh,
I told
saying
them to well, I
yeah,
asked them to cost it. Um,
yeah, please quantify. Yeah. Yeah, I think for one, I'm gonna like put a label this as
These info.
yeah, needs in right. Where is it?
Yeah, we don't spend much time discussing this if there's no um
We haven't used this label in a long time.
Well, that's just it's one single API call.
Yeah.
Surprised that's that slow.
Didn't we used to have a waiting for like kind of a label to just punt it back to them to say we're still waiting on something for them? I don't really see one. There's like
uh,
question support slash question, or question slash
I
it's
thought
all right.
needs
I can
info was I thought needs
yeah.
info was the one we were using for that.
I don't see
Got
that.
it.
Yeah. Maybe like just this brought this up, but like let's talk about like finding what we used to have. I'm pretty sure we used to have one of these, but I haven't done it in a while. But we are in that situation a lot, right? Where we're waiting on someone and we're
Yeah.
just it'd be nice to have a label for that so that aren't we don't have to go and scour through it to find that out.
As long as I mean the problem I have with GitHub issues is that it's very hard to know. Like there's oh, fuck, I forget the name. The I haven't used it for a while, so I forget the name. The tool that Joe pointed out, which is like a third party integration, which looks at your issues and and tells you when they've been updated. These are emails, and then there's just sorting the list by last updated. But I find none of them are very good to like keep track of conversations and GitHub issues.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if this
Mm-hmm.
maybe the problem with this label is that even if someone updates, it's not going to remove the label. So um
Yeah, I was thinking that same thing. It's like even if we said, we need feedback, if we never go back and check they gave us the feedback, that label will stay there forever, and we'll just never go check it.
Sure, yeah. Understood that, but
I wonder if there,
right
I
now
wonder
we
if
have
there's
to,
I
in
wonder
order
if
to
there's any
check.
sort of sorry,
Mhm.
go ahead. I was just saying, I wonder if there's any sort of tool that does that for us. That could, a GitHub action or something. I'll look and see if I can find something. Maybe there's a GitHub action that we can say, we need feedback from the user, and then there's an action that will, once feedback is given, will remove that label.
Just once they reply whether or not they answered our question, and then we'll re-add the
Yeah.
label for like, hey, you didn't answer our question.
Yep.
Yeah, that seems legit.
All right, I'll look for that.
Or like replied. Got it.
Yeah. Yeah, reply would be even better.
Yeah, because then we would be able to distinguish that from the other issues where that's not really a factor. We're not really specifically blocked on feedback from that or like more info from them.
Yeah.
Cool. George, I don't really have a problem with you. I mean, I don't really feel very strongly one way or the other here, honestly. Um, I like what you said, or I like your proposed solution. I wonder who's going to work on it.
wow, my goal was to have the person contribute it if they
Yeah.
felt strongly enough to
Right.
implement it.
Yep. Yeah, because they already got
Um,
got in there a little bit at least to like bypass the. Nice. Okay. Uh, Karen, or is there anything else for that one, George?
I'm good, thank you.
Okay, cool. It's all you, Karen.
Cool. Okay, so they just like officially finally announced the project opportunities for Scenescape projects at KubeCon Salt Lake City. If you click on the link that says project opportunities, that takes you to the landing page. And we are a graduated project, so there's a chart in that page, and I also just wrote it like we have access to the project pavilion, a 5-minute lightning talk, maintainer track, contrib fast, project updates on the keynote stage. So I kind of just wanted to check in and see how everyone feels about that. Who's going? What do we think we might be interested in? I think we have until um well, okay. Um I think I'm trying to think. Okay, yeah. Um, sorry, I couldn't remember for the keynotes. Like it used to be that we would just give them talking points, but now I think they like have you record a video. But aside from that, in order to like request a maintainer track and it contributes fast, we have to do a CFP, and that's due July 22nd. So we have a little bit of time. But again, kind of want to poke in to see who's going and like what can we can get from people. 'Cause I don't want to oversubscribe and hit it for more than what we can handle. And then also if there are any questions about like which each of these things are, I'm happy to provide what context I know. Yeah. Maybe
Yeah.
we start with like figuring out who will be there. Yeah. Um, if you will
I will
be
be.
there, can you tell me? Yeah. Okay, so got George, was that you? Right.
Yeah, barring any surprises, I'll certainly be at KubeCon.
Okay.
Didn't you
I'll be
say you
there
would
as
be there?
well.
Yeah. Okay. That's what I was just gonna ask. Yeah, and in terms of like the uh the opportunities, I would
Mhm.
say honestly, I would say every single one, but with like a half day for the pavilion, like we talked about. I know we discussed also maybe not even having one.
Yeah,
Um,
we've been doing half days.
We need to do pavilion. We just need to agree that those who are going to work are going to work. So it just comes down to if
yeah,
we want to have a pavilion, there has to be commitment from maintainers to staff the pavilion.
yeah,
Um,
So I'm certainly happy to contribute. Um, in the sense that if we have a pavilion, then I can I can commit to standing there.
I'm
oh,
still.
that's fine.
I was saying I'm still awaiting uh company backing.
has anyone heard from Karina in a while? And she hasn't been coming to the meetings, but I wasn't sure if like what her plans look like for this. Yeah.
She's on the TOC now, so I'm guessing she's going to be at the event, the CNCFC TOC, and she also lives in Salt Lake City.
True. Um, okay. Can you
When we
check in
talk,
with her just because I don't know if
Yeah,
or I guess we can check in on Slack. Yeah.
yeah,
Um,
I can check with her.
okay, so
when we talked in Paris, she's not that interested in being part of the Helm project anymore.
yeah, that's kind of why I want to check in. Yeah. Um, okay, so aside from Project Pavilion, did y'all want to do a talk? I guess we could either do like the 5 minute lightning talk or like the normal maintainer talk, which I think is like 35 minutes maybe.
Yeah. I, I think if we do, well, so one thing is like the keynote stage would be really great, mainly just to I think it's kind of important to let people know that we are.
That is going to be incredibly important, Scott. Yes, we need to get a project update video going, and that should be our coming out party, to be honest. Saying, Helm 4, come, please.
Yeah, yeah, because we did the user feedback session last time, which went really well, but there's still a limited number of people that hear about it, and this would blast that. Um, so, and then
Does
yeah,
anyone remember? I'm trying to think of like the order of events like throughout the day, right? Or like throughout the week, because um, I think the graduated project videos during the keynote are played on the first day, which is like keep that in mind. And then Contrib Fest, I want to say, I think these used to be before the conference, but I think they're like sprinkled as sessions throughout the rest of the conference. Because if you want to use the keynote to be like, hey, we're going to do Home 4, I just want to make sure it's all lined up correct. Like you do it in the order that would then bring people to like the Contrib Fest, right?
that's right. We don't say, and come to the Contrib Fest when it's already over.
Yeah. Okay,
Like,
I can double check on timing or like order of things. Um, but if you do the Contrib Fest, yeah, do you still want to do the regular maintainer track talk? I don't know when the lightning talks
We
are.
did it in Paris.
You did what?
We did both the trip talk and the maintainer track.
I don't think we did the Contrib Fest. I didn't sign up for that.
Yeah, I was going to say we kind of used. I think the confusion. I like you're right in effect, Andy, but just not in title. So like we use the maintainer track session to essentially
Yeah.
gather feedback from people.
No, it didn't. No, it didn't. We had a separate presentation with the maintainer track, and then we had a totally different track on the script session.
I didn't submit anything for Contrib Fest, so unless someone else did, because
Or
the
maybe I'm
Contrib
just
Fest sessions are 90
miscategorizing it.
minutes long.
Wasn't the last day, the last session, wasn't that Contrib Fest? Was that the contributor session? The one I couldn't make. That was Contrib Fest, and then we had a maintainer session that Scott, you, and me, and Karina presented on.
Oh, actually, you're right. We did do yeah. Actually, yeah. Thank you. Yeah. So what was that then? Maybe we got to slide in on it, and that's why I'm misremembering the category then. Um,
Is-
we'll take a peek at it. But in any case,
Okay, yeah, it's on the schedule. I don't know if I just blanked on this or if that
yeah,
got submitted without you
I don't
knowing.
remember either.
It's totally possible. Um, but so then you guys also did a home talk though? Or
We
you
did.
didn't do a home
Yes,
talk?
we did a
Yeah,
Helm talk.
yeah.
We did a normal Helm talk, but we also did um the actual
I
session.
see.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So that being said, okay, so you all kind of have like an idea of what that's like. Do you still want to do both then?
The
I would
answer,
love to.
I would say yes, because we're probably gonna have more people at the event, considering it's North America. So we could divide and conquer the number of folks who can participate.
Okay.
Like I can go to the Contrib Fest because I'm very interested in Helm 4, same with George, etc. And then others can go ahead and do the maintainer track. We can split it up. We can figure that out later.
Okay, would it make sense to just kind of have like assign some like, quote unquote owners, one for the Contrib Fest and then one for the maintainer track talk? Like,
I would
is
say
there someone
yes.
who, okay, can I put you down for Contrib Fest?
Sure.
Okay. Um,
You can put me down for all of them as well in terms of just being part of them and doing it.
okay. Um,
I think that and Andy, if you want to run that one, I'd like to like just debrief with you about how the last one went because there was some
Yeah.
helpful.
We got some time, but yeah, definitely want to know how that went and what we can do to make sure it's the best session possible.
Yeah, I would just repeat a few things that we don't usually do that really worked out really well. Yeah.
okay, I'll work with you all on the timelines for that. And then I'll probably just check in on Slack with the other maintainers to see who's available because I think the biggest heavy lifting part is probably just the project pavilion because it's like a 3-day commitment. Even if it's like a half day, it's like a span of 3 days.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm assuming we're like not interested in the 5-minute lightning talk. I don't think we need to do
I
that
think if we're going to do, yeah, I mean, especially if we do like the keynote,
yeah. Okay.
and maybe we should just not do the 5-minute lightning talk anyway, unless someone feels passionate about it. Because we're going to have lots of time to do demos at the pavilion, and it seems
Yeah.
like yeah, it seems like the keynote would really be the real big like, everyone pay attention to this.
Okay. And then we are interested in like the project updates video, right? For the keynote. Okay. Um, can I put you down for that?
Yeah. I mean, yes, if
Okay.
you sign notice, absolutely.
Okay, yeah. I mean, I'll work with you on the timelines and all that. I just don't know if anyone in particular is interested in recording the video.
Okay. Yeah, I could do that.
Okay.
Whoever else is
Okay.
involved in that too. I could do the recording part or lead it or
Okay,
whatever.
yeah. I mean, you have till
Whatever.
like mid-August, late
Yep.
August. So
Yep.
cool. Okay. All right, that's all I have for now. Sorry I ate so much time.
No, that was perfect. We uh let's move yours, George, to your last topic to the next week, if that's okay.
Yeah,
Uh
that's fine. It's a bit of a discussion item, so
yeah. And so let's just do the assignments. Who would like to moderate next week? Anyone who's on here?
I can moderate.
Okay, awesome. And notes.
I can do notes, I think.
Okay. Um, and issue triage. I'm gonna.
I'll do issue triage as well. I
Mhm.
I can easily find. I find I get most time to do that more easily. So
Cool. PR review.
We'll attempt to do that again I will again attempt.
Yeah,
To do that this week.
totally. And you can put me down for that too. Um, actually, if you don't mind, I also issue triage as well. You can put me down for. Um, I'm still like working with folks who are contributing, and I'm gonna try to like get them more visible in the work that they're doing. And I can be here next week. Anybody else? Any other core maintainers? Well, I guess Karen, since you're doing notes. Oh, right. What am I? Sorry, for the Helm maintainers. Okay. All right, then. Thanks, everyone. We are like gonna end on time. It just turned 1 p.m. So here, anyway. So I'll see you on Slack
See ya.
and see you
Bye.
next week.
Here's
okay,
all.
but
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Wait, wait, hey, wait. 1 second. Wait a
Yeah,
second.
I'm still here.
Thursday's the 4th. There is no meeting next week, I'm guessing.
Oh, right. Thursday's the 4th. Thank you.
Yeah, so you might want to just throw it in chat. I just realized that most of us aren't going to be working.
Yes. Yeah.
I will actually be because I'll be in Europe, but
Yeah, I was gonna say I probably will be too, but
but I'm guessing
I'll
most won't.
yeah, I'll
But
note that down on
let,
the document
yeah.
right
Why don't
now.
you put a note out to the maintainer saying who's going to be available?
We could still do stuff, but like I
Yeah,
agree, we need to cancel the meeting. So
agreed. Cool. All right.
so is that canceling tomorrow's call?
No, next week.
Okay.
Andy just
Next
noticed it's like the
the 4th.
US holiday.
Oh yeah,
Independence Day.
I'm camping. Yeah, good call, Andy. So yeah, next week's everything next week.
Cool. But yeah, I'll see you two tomorrow. If
Mhm.
are you able to are you planning on coming to the Friday thing, Andy? Are you able?
I'm gonna try.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
Okay, we'll see if we see you.
All right. See you guys.
Bye.
Right. Awesome. Bye.